Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This time, we're taking our taste buds on a trip around the world.
A culinary journey.
Exactly. We're diving into my international recipes, a cookbook from Nobilia Kitchens.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and it's more than just like your typical, recipe book. It's like a glimpse into all the connections Nobilia has globally. Their own employees from all over the world share these recipes.
That's fascinating. You know what struck me right away? In the intro by Oliver Strait, he's so self-aware.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobilia knows they love their ideas, but he makes it clear this book is about more than just, showing off.
So it's not just a vanity project.
No, not at all. It's about the people.
Yeah.
They highlight how the export team, many of whom are actually from the countries featured, were the ones who provided the recipes.
That's a great way to show authenticity.
Exactly. It shows Nobilia really respects the cultures they're representing, and there's this great story about their Chinese team.
Oh, tell me.
Not all of them are actually from China, but they all consider themselves honorary Chinese because they're so passionate about the food and culture.
I love that. It speaks volumes about the team's dedication.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're about to embark on a culinary adventure. Where do we begin?
Let's start in Scandinavia, land of the midnight sun, those amazing fjords, and such a strong connection to nature.
And I bet the cuisine reflects that.
Absolutely. Simplicity and fresh ingredients are key.
What kind of dishes are we talking about?
Well, they start with a layered marinated herring salad, which is a classic.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, and the interesting part, it's designed to be made ahead of time. Very practical.
Oh, very Scandinavian.
And-
Efficient.
Exactly. And then there's salmon with mint yogurt dressing for a light summery taste.
Perfect for warm weather.
Now for those chilly Scandinavian nights, there's Jansen's Temptation, a rich potato casserole.
Oh, yum. Like a fancy potatoes au gratin.
Exactly. But they say you can swap some of the cream for milk if you want a lighter version.
Smart. Now, you can't talk Scandinavian food without mentioning.
Meatballs. Of course, they have Swedish meatballs, served with lingonberry jam traditionally.
A classic.
But they encourage trying other tart jams too. Blackcurrant, maybe even a spiced plum.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So always room to get creative.
Love that. What else is there?
Grilled herring with mustard butter is a winner. And any oily fish will work for this.
Nice. Versatile.
Oh, and they have a tip. Make the mustard butter ahead of time. Saves you time later.
Great tip. Always appreciate those.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. The Scandinavian Christmas bread, or julebrood, you make it a whole month before Christmas.
Whoa. That's intense.
It's like panettone or stollen. That long fermentation deepens the flavor.
Makes sense. Build up the anticipation.
Exactly. And their Swedish pancake gâteau is another beautiful layered dish. Thin crepes, creamy filling, topped with berries. They recommend lingonberry jam, but any berry will do.
I'm already loving the variety here.
Oh.
It really feels like they captured the spirit of Scandinavia.
And this is just the beginning of our culinary journey.
Okay, Great Britain. I'm picturing hearty pies and all sorts of deliciousness.
You got it. The cookbook describes Great Britain's landscape as diverse, and that's reflected in their cuisine, too. It's a cool mix of, hearty, traditional dishes, but also you see a lot of multicultural influences.
Makes sense. An island nation with so much history.
Yeah.
So what are we starting with on this British food tour?
Oh, we're diving right in with Cornish pasties.
Love a good pasty.
But these aren't just any pasties. They were originally created as meals for workers, miners, farmers, people on the go. And get this, so the thick crust was actually used as a handle so they wouldn't get their hands dirty.
That's brilliant. I never knew that. So you could eat the crust or not.
Exactly. Up to you. Practical and delicious.
I love that. Okay, what else do they have?
All right, get ready for this one. The name is a bit strange. Toad in the hole.
Toad in the hole. That's unique.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's a simple dish, basically sausages baked in batter.
Huh. Interesting. Do we know where that name came from?
No one knows for sure, but one theory is that the sausages poking out of the batter look like toads peeking their heads out of their holes.
Makes sense. So, despite the name, it's a popular dish.
Oh yeah, kids and adults love it.
Well, I'm always up for trying new things, even if the name is a bit odd.
Yeah.
What else is on this British culinary adventure?
How about some fisherman's pie? It's a classic. And although the recipe calls for haddock, they say you can use any white fish you like.
I appreciate that flexibility. It's like they're giving you permission to make it your own.
Exactly. And then for a real Sunday dinner experience, they've got roast beef with Yorkshire pudding, a true British staple.
Can't go wrong with that.
And they even include a recipe for English onion sauce to go with it.
Bonus. That's attention to detail. All right, we've covered some savory classics. What about dessert?
Yes, let's talk sweets. Banoffee pie is a must-try, the classic combo of banana, chocolate, and caramel.
Always a winning combination.
They stress the importance of chilling it properly, though, to get those nice clean slices when you cut it.
Good tip. Nobody wants a messy banoffee pie. What else?
Sticky toffee pudding. Rich, moist, and they use dates to give it even more depth. And here's the unique part. It's steamed.
Steamed. Interesting.
It's not a common cooking method for puddings, but it works beautifully here. They say you can serve it with custard, cream, ice cream, whatever you like.
So many options. Okay, I need to try this one.
And we'll wrap up our British baking journey with some buttermilk scones.
The classic. I love good scones.
This recipe's pretty straightforward, but they give a crucial tip that applies to baking in general. Don't overwork the dough.
Oh, that's good advice. It's so easy to do.
It is. But if you want those light, fluffy scones, you gotta resist the urge to overmix.
Okay, noted. So we've seen Scandinavia. We've had a taste of Great Britain. I'm ready to see what other culinary treasures this cookbook has in store.
We still have quite a few countries to cover, so buckle up. We're about to take a whirlwind tour through the rest of the world.
Let's do it. I'm excited to expand my culinary horizons even further. Netherlands and Belgium. I'm ready for some delicious discoveries. What culinary delights await us in this section of the cookbook?
Well, if you love seafood, get ready for some amazing herring dishes.
Herring. Okay, I'll admit I haven't explored herring that much.
You're in for a treat. They really highlight how versatile it is. You can prepare it in so many different ways.
So it's more than just pickled herring.
Oh, yeah, so much more. They've got everything from simple marinated salads to dishes with mustard sauces, dill. It's really fascinating.
Okay, you've piqued my interest. What kind of recipes do they feature?
Well, like I said, there are these beautiful herring salads, but also some more elaborate preparations. It's a reminder that sometimes the simplest ingredients, when done right, can be the most delicious.
Simple but elegant. I like that. Okay, what's next on our culinary world tour?
Let's head to Germany, known for their hearty and comforting dishes, and this cookbook doesn't disappoint.
I'm all ears. What stood out to you?
One recipe that caught my eye was beef roulades with egg filling.
Roulades?
Yeah, it's a classic German dish, but with a twist. Imagine tender beef rolls filled with a savory egg mixture and then braised until they're just melt in your mouth tender.
Ooh, that sounds incredible. Perfect for a cold winter night. What about desserts? Any German sweets we should know about?
Well, there's this recipe called Zwetschgendatschi.
Zwetschgen one.
I know, it's a mouthful. But basically, it's a traditional plum cake.
Yeah.
The name alone makes you want to try it.
I'm with you there. I'm a sucker for trying dishes with fun names. All right, where to next?
How about France? Time for some classic French elegance.
Ooh la la.
Of course, no French cookbook would be complete without crème brûlée. And they do have a recipe for the classic version.
But there's a twist, right?
You know it. They don't stop at just vanilla. They offer variations with fruit, chocolate, even ginger.
Now that's what I'm talking about. So many possibilities with one base recipe. I love that.
From the elegance of France, let's head to sunny Spain.
Let's go. What Spanish specialties are we trying?
Their aioli recipe is simple but so versatile. Perfect for dipping spring vegetables.
I can already taste that creamy garlic goodness with some fresh asparagus.
Exactly. They also have a recipe for papas arrugadas.
Papas arrugadas. What's that?
It means wrinkled potatoes.
Wrinkled potatoes. I've never heard of that before.
They're small potatoes boiled in salt water until they get all wrinkly. It gives them this unique texture and flavor.
Interesting. Simple yet intriguing.
And then we travel to Italy, where they feature carpaccio.
Ah, carpaccio. Always a classic.
It's all about those paper-thin slices, you know? It's not just the ingredients, but the technique that makes it so special.
Elegance and precision.
Exactly. And for something hearty, there's Monday night ribollita. It's a Tuscan bread and vegetable soup, perfect for using up leftovers.
Practical and delicious.
Oh.
Two of my favorite things. Okay, what's next?
We make a stop in Austria for Kaiserschmarrn.
Kaiserschmarrn. I'd say that 3 times fast.
Haha, I know, right? But it's a delicious, fluffy pancake dish, and it's said to have been a favorite of Emperor Franz Joseph I.
Oh, so it has a royal connection.
That's the story. It just goes to show how food can be tied to history in such fascinating ways. And to finish our European adventure, we have borscht from Eastern Europe.
I love borscht. That vibrant red color always draws me in. What's this recipe like?
This one is a classic, simple, and flavorful, capturing the essence of that comforting beet soup.
Okay, my mouth is watering. Where are we off to now?
Let's venture into the Middle East and explore the flavors of the United Arab Emirates.
Sounds exotic.
They start with muhammara, a roasted red pepper dip with walnuts and a touch of pomegranate molasses.
Ooh, that sounds amazing. I'm always up for trying new dips.
They even offer a creamy variation made with labneh, strained yogurt, if you prefer a richer texture.
So many choices. I love
Yeah.
that they give you the basic recipe, but then encourage you to experiment with variations.
Of course, we can't forget about falafel, a Middle Eastern staple. They have a classic recipe for those crispy chickpea fritters.
Falafel is always a good idea. So versatile, too.
Absolutely. And they also include a recipe for an Arab omelet, which is actually quite similar to a Spanish tortilla.
It's amazing how certain dishes pop up in different cultures with their own little twists.
It shows how interconnected food really is. And for our final stop, we're heading to China.
I'm ready for some bold flavors. What do they highlight in this section?
They focus on the concept of woke, which is that smoky flavor you get from cooking over high heat in a well-seasoned wok. It's really essential to Chinese cooking.
I've always been in awe of wok cooking. It's like an art form. What recipe do they use to showcase this technique?
Kung Pao chicken. It's the perfect example of woke in action, with that balance of sweet, sour, spicy, and savory flavors all coming together.
Wow, what an incredible culinary journey this has been. We've explored so many different cultures and cuisines, all thanks to my international recipes. This cookbook really goes beyond just providing recipes. It opens up a whole world of flavors and culinary traditions.
I completely agree. It's an invitation to get creative in the kitchen, try new things, and maybe even learn a little bit about different cultures along the way.
And speaking of exploring new things, I think it's time we remind our listeners about another amazing way to expand their horizons, our All Sorts Podcast YouTube channel.
Yes. Just like this cookbook offers a taste of different cultures, our channel offers a taste of, well, everything.
Exactly. History, science, art, culture, you name it, we've probably covered it.
So if you enjoyed this culinary journey with us, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and join us as we explore all sorts of fascinating topics.
Think of it as a buffet of knowledge, with something for everyone to discover and enjoy. Thanks for joining us on this delicious deep dive.